Ladies and gentlemen, game 2 of our best of 5 series here for the semifinals of Excellency Mid-League. No Fear Wolves and Death Cards Academy switching it up on the Rift this time. No Fear Wolves on the blue side, Death Cards Academy on the red side, but it's still going to be me, Icarus, joined by Metapod's Manatee on the analyst desk, bringing you this pick band so far. And these guys are going right back at it. Same thing as last time here, Metapods. So we got the Nocturne, Gwen Viego taking off the board, the Azir and Aphelios to answer from Death Cards Academy.
It looks like DCA has faith in their cheat codes to run back that early game, so we'll see how it goes. I kind of hope that No Fear Wolves won't try to go for the Ziggs again because they didn't play around it. But they do have the Xin Zhao coming in, so hopefully that can help them with their early game a little bit more this time. And we'll have to see what they... I just want to see what they take for the bot lane mainly, because they didn't play around their Ziggs, and it just looked bad. Oh, the Thresh, okay.
Okay, I like to see that the Thresh is being picked up here. Josh Box, the support for No Fear Wolves, one of their newer players here coming in, has also been a really big factor for keeping the team on track though, and by picking up an early support, it's not revealing a whole lot about what their composition wants to do here. Allowing that Xin Zhao to go over to the side of DCA alongside that Karma, a classic pairing that you get whenever you lock in that Xin Zhao jungle, having the Enchanter support either in the support lane or in the middle lane here. You can even see Karma at the top side, honestly, though I'm personally not a huge fan of Karma top. I think it's just a little too squishy to go up there, but it is going to be there to help support the Xin Zhao with that Ardent Sensor, with the Shurelya's Reverie coming in order to provide speed boosts, additional shielding, healing, and attack speed as this game continues.
I get it. You say you don't want to see the Karma in the top lane. Usually I don't either, unless it's Huni. I'm a huge Huni fan, and I remember when he pioneered it back in the LCS, he always brings up, hey, he doesn't always win on it. Huni doesn't need to win his games to be the best boy. But okay, he makes it exciting.
We'll agree to disagree. We'll agree to disagree on our flavor of top laners.
You can't convince me that Huni's not just the best boy there's ever been in the LCS.
I do like can, and I will.
Okay, well, anyways, fine. You can have your opinion. But the Kallista's coming in to round out the bot lane for No Fear Wolves here. And I really like to see them taking a much more aggressive lane this time, because Epic Fail Guy, I don't know if he just doesn't play that much Ziggs, he just has as a pocket pick, but he was dropping a lot of CS in that game. And then we have the Vayne coming into the Kalista. I'm not sure how that match was going to go, but that sounds not great for anyone who has to get close to Kalista, and Vayne's pretty short range, so we'll have to see how that plays out, and we'll see that Karma's going down there to help her with her wave clear and keep her safe. We're going to try to take more traditional tank to just block the Thresh and try to keep them off Vayne.
I'm not sure how I feel about this Vayne being locked in either, as you're saying, Metapods, because you only see 3 members out of No Fear Wolves so far. They don't necessarily have to lock in a tank or anybody that is going to let you free hit them like Vayne wants to do. Typically, this is an answer to a triple or quadruple melee bruiser tank style composition, but Diana wants to jump on top of your early. Thresh is going to be looking for ranged engages, so you have to get up into his attack range or his CC range in order to make anything happen. And as you're saying, for Kalista, she loves going for early game trading patterns, and when you're going up against Epic Fail Guy, our all-pro AD carry, he's going to be looking to play aggressive in this lane, and that's something he was missing on that Ziggs. I like to see that step away, as you're mentioning, from that kind of just wave clear, passive style bottom laner into something that's more aggressive, something that you can play around, that has even a little playmaking potential in and of itself here with that Kalista ultimate, the God, I can't remember what it's called. I saw your face.
I don't know what it's called, but we just saw a Yasuo locked in. And I remember seeing Abadage play this. It didn't go too well, but we'll have to see here. The No Fear Wolves mid laner. We'll have to keep Raichu if he can pull it out better than Abadage did. It's a tough order, but he can't miss Cassiopeia ults this time, so I think he might have a chance.
We'll have to wait to see what these guys have claimed as their final pick here, as it gets missed on our system, but they'll let us know in a second. I do hope so, at least. But yeah, they were just saying the Yasuo getting locked in here. I'm really curious to see what it's going to do. mainly with working with the Kalista ultimate, working with the Diana Moonfall as well, all of that coming together in order to make these plays happen. A lot of knockups are available already on the side of No Fear Wolves here in order to set up Yasuo, in order to set up Cute Raichu when it comes to these mid lane plays here. On the other side of the map though, we do have Nautilus, Aatrox, the last two pickups here for Death Cards Academy. Some CC, some tankiness, some frontline being picked up here, and that's something you desperately need if you're looking towards this Vayne to be your late game carry, is somebody to be able to stand in front of Galaxy Meep here whenever he looks to go for these late game team fights.
He'll definitely be able to run away with these fights if he can remain untouched, and he has a few options and ways to do that. But looking at the No Fear Wolves squad coming out here, they drafted so many aggressive options when they hit 6. Kalista ult can knock him up, Thresh can knock him up, Diana's gonna knock him up. There's so many options for this Yasuo to combo off of, and it's going to be terrifying.
It is going to be a very scary composition. It does feel kind of like that 5-man death ball composition that's playing for this Yasuo. They didn't tell us what that final pick is. Actually, there's a little word in the bottom corner, and it says Ornn here for the side of No Fear Wolves. I guess there must just be a bug with the system. So that final pick up here for No Fear Wolves is the Ornn pick. We just can't see it on our screens, but we will see in just a second here as Cornstar locks that one in. And that's the ultimate knockup if you're looking for one here, Metapods, man. It's the tanky frontline member. Yes, it's going to be free hits for Vayne, but you got to be able to dodge that Ornn Horn. You got to dodge the Fate's Call here. You got to dodge everything from No Fear Wolves that they're throwing at you, because they got 1,000,001 knockups and they're looking to let Cute Raichu pop off.
They really drafted for Cute Raichu this time. But at the same time, they don't have to just play through him. Like I said, they had that Kalista in the bot lane, and it seems like they might have told Cornstar, hey, you're fighting a lot top lane. You went down to like 7 deaths. It's like, we get what you're trying to do here, but we need to focus a little bit more, try to direct our aggression, because Death Cards Academy was able to just pick him apart last game, and they had the Xin Zhao again, and so they're going to have to start conceding some of these lanes to focus more around others. And I like the way that they've dropped a lot of innate synergies and combos with their champions here to give them more direction in the early game this time.
I'm actually really intrigued to see how these champions have been locked in so far here at Metapods, because it looks like Cute Raichu is going to be the one piloting the Ornn in the mid lane. Cornstar hovering that Yasuo so far. I mean, they still have a chance to switch these champions up, don't get me wrong, but if that's where these lanes are going, then we got ourselves a very spicy Game 2 draft here. I actually kind of would enjoy to see that switch up here, mainly for the fact that Yasuo will have that longer lane on the top side of the map to work around with the minion waves. Also, going up into the Aatrox is just a better matchup in general. Karma can easily put that tether down onto whoever is piloting the Yasuo and really shut down his ability to go for aggressive engages alongside of that shield. Just makes it so annoying for him to get on top of that mid lane pick here. But that's not to say that Karma can't get flex top lane. I think that this game is going to be a lot of where's the Yasuo going and how are we going to be able to answer it from both of these teams here.
Yeah, you know, I want to see Cornstar make me eat my words, because I did call him out for going down 7 deaths last game by the end of it, but if you want to keep fighting, giving him the pick to keep fighting on. Every time Aatrox goes for a Q, he just dashes out of it, dashes forward, and then whenever Aatrox is about to Q3, just dash back out again. It's a really simple trading pattern, and it can be definitely make it hard for this Aatrox to get in there. And when Aatrox has these huge long cooldowns, Yasuo Q is one of the shortest cooldowns in the game, and it's going to be rough for him up there if that's definitely going up there.
I do predict that's probably where everything's going to be going. Now, I'm not going to be surprised if there's a couple of lane swaps that happen throughout this series in terms of Cornstar going down mid, Patrick Jones going up top, vice versa, whatever it may be, in order to try and make things work out here for this matchup. But taking a look across these entire compositions, Yasuo, Diana, Ornn, Kalista, Thresh versus Aatrox, Xin Zhao, Karma, Vayne, Nautilus, Metapods. I didn't ask you in game 1, but in game 2, after seeing what DCA puts on the table, who are you predicting to take the win in this second game of our best of 5 series?
I predicted No Fear the first game, and I was wrong. I'm going to double down on it, predict No Fear for the second game as well, because I love this comp they're coming out with. Cute Raichu is such a flexible, creative player, pulling out the Ornn here in the mid lane now, it looks like. And I just have a lot of faith in them to execute this level 6 all-in comp.
I'm going to have to disagree myself. I think it's going to go over to Death Cards Academy, and here's why, Metapods. They have a great arc when it comes to their champion power points. Xin Zhao early, Aatrox mid, Vayne late, and I love to see compositions that access the different power points at different stages of the game. And this entire time, you have Karma that is backing up all three of these members with that Ardent Center, with the Shurelya's Reverie. The one downside I do see to the side of Death Cards Academy's composition is they are facing off against an Ornn who can easily stack armor into this triple AD composition, or threat composition from DCA. Whereas on the other side, you have Diana. That is going to be the big player to watch for me. I know we've been talking about Yasuo, but Skiz on this Diana pick is going to be the member to watch, because that is going to be the person who will most likely be doing the most amount of damage in the mid game when armor starts being built on the other side as well here. But ladies and gentlemen, there's only one way for us to find out who wins game 2 here, and that's for these players to hop onto the Rift and show us who has the better series here. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes after the spectator delay. Do not go anywhere. We'll see you in a few more minutes.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Game 2 tonight between No Fear Wolves and Death Cards Academy. Game 1, we got to see Death Cards take the first game over No Fear Wolves, but this isn't a best of 1, this is a best of 5, Icarus. So, we've got another game on our hands now, and who do you think is taking this one?
Oh man, we were talking a little bit with Metapods. He thinks it's No Fear Wolves. I need to see again how DCA is able to play out these early stages of the game. Sterling Archer really impressed me in the first game of this series here, with his ability to find so many successful early ganks on the Xin Zhao and just finding such a massive lead for his team, that despite No Fear Wolves getting a couple of really good looking team fights in the mid to late game, it didn't matter because they were just getting beat by numbers and beat by the amount of gold that DCA had found for themselves. So again, I'm just looking at Sterling Archer on the Xin Zhao, this power pick that has been so prevalent in pro play and so prevalent in mid league for the past couple of weeks, to see what he's able to do and how he's going to be able to find yet another early game lead for his team. Because when we're looking towards these mid game team fights, there's a couple of questions to ask what you do into the wombo combo of No Fear Wolves.
Yeah, and that Wombo combo does have Cornstar coming down to the mid lane, and Cute Raichu will be visiting the top lane for this game. So a little bit of a role swap coming in here for game 2, and No Fear Wolves as well. So not something else, or something else that we weren't really expecting coming into this series.
And this is exactly what we talked about during the Champion Selector Camcom, is the potential for so many different unique lane matchups because of the nature of this Yasuo wanting to get a good matchup and not wanting to face off against Patrick Jones's Karma here. We see that both top laners already understood this, and because Fugnugler committed to going towards that mid lane and Cornstar called him on the bluff of it, they're going to be facing off in the middle lane, which I think favors Cornstar on this Yasuo a lot more, because now you have more natural lane matchups or natural lane states for the Yasuo and for this Ornn, whereas Karma and Aatrox, yes, they can be flexed into these off-roll positions, but it definitely feels like it doesn't favor them per se.
Yeah, Karma, she's mostly fine in any lane, even if it is top lane. It's just, usually you do actually take grass for top lane, so maybe Patrick Jones was secretly planning to go top lane earlier on, and then Fugnugler, though, like you're saying, Aatrox, he's pretty out of his comfort zone just as a champion. Maybe not as a player, of course, but as a champion, Aatrox in the mid lane, not going to be doing nearly as well as Karma, or even the Yasuo will be going against him.
Already we see Sterling Archer hovering around this middle side of the map. He once again wants to try and make a play in the middle lane, but I don't think it's going to be nearly as successful this time around here.
Cornstar dashing forward through the wave, forcing out his own flash there. I think he could have just walked away from that one, but he wanted to go in a little bit too far there, I think.
Yeah, he was trying to get away from the infernal chains coming in from Fugnugler, but still ends up getting pulled back there. It was a really cool angle that he was going for, but ends up just barely not working here. I'm intrigued to see this bottom side of the map where we already see Epic Fail Guy forced to pop his potion. I don't think he's actually used his Black Spear just quite yet. It is still being held onto in his inventory, so without using that, he's not getting access to that passive on his W, and going for these early trades are just not favoring him. I wonder if there's a particular reason he's done this. Is he waiting to share a link with Cornstar, or is this just something that he forgot?
Yeah, I don't know if he might have forgotten that he might just be waiting until that level 6 spike to see who is the strongest member on his team. But yeah, I do definitely agree. You've got this classic Callista Thresh bot where Callista Thresh is just a very strong lane together, but you do need to use that Black Shield or Black Spear to be getting that extra passive damage like you're saying. As you can see, Epic Fail Guy taking a lot of damage from those Silver Bolts from Galaxy Beep, as definitely Uwu for Cthulhu has been landing some nice hooks, as now you see there is no flash on Yasuo, and that's going to be a kill. Going over to Sterling Archer once again, finding this first blood both games so far in this series, as Skiz forcing his own flash onto Patrick Jones, but it is so hard to kill a Karma. You've got no mana, as Sterling Archer finds himself a double kill so early on into this game too.
Well, it's the game 1 run back here. Salty run back for No Fear Wolves. I'm just messing, but it's tragedy again here for the side of No Fear Wolves is what happens as they give up another couple of kills very early on in this middle lane versus Sterling Archer on this Xin Zhao jungle, and he is making it look so clean there. I love to see him revisiting mid so early on, knowing that Cornstar had already blown that flash, and Skiz just a little bit behind on the rotation, comes in for the counter gank and overcommits trying to kill Patrick Jones.
Yeah, it does look like the solo laners for Death Cards have swapped back, so it is now Fugnuggler in that top lane with Patrick in the mid, and I think Fugnuggler maybe underestimated the damage from Cute Raichu there up in the top lane, as he took so much damage that really he's not accustomed to losing these 1v1 trades so heavily, especially into a tank like Auron, who, you look at a tank like him, all he has is boots and a dagger and a Doran's Blade, and you're not really expecting him to be doing that kind of crazy damage.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things that you never quite expect an Auron to be able to do so much damage, but with Grasp and the ability to get those brittle procs off early, Auron does a surprising amount of early game burst, and that's just something that an Aatrox can't keep up with. Typically needs to complete that, or the Sterox Gauge and the Gore Drinker before he's able to fully trade with the tank, and it's one of those weird things I know a lot of people respect in a top lane matchup.
Oh, but they are going in for the real 1v1 here, as now Kiraichu, he burns his Call of the Flourish God as Fugnuggler, taken so low but healing so much through his ultimate. One more auto's gonna find him. That is the solo kill up in the top lane for Fugnuggler. Meanwhile, Cthulhu misses his hook just a little bit too far, as Skiz picks up his first kill of the game for No Fear Wolves, but Sterling Archer not gonna let him be taking it for free, as one more Silver Bolt might be able to take it, but Guardian just gonna be enough there to save Skiz's life.
So many things happening across the entire map here, Camcom, as we're looking towards this first dragon. Going to be started up here from the side of Death Cards Academy once again, because they know Skiz is down too low to be able to contest this with his smite unless he wants to die. No flash available for this Diana either. So this will be the first dragon of the game going over to the side of Death Cards Academy this time all around. It is just a Windrake, so not the best single dragon to be picking up here, but if we're looking again towards this early game lead, oh my gosh, the hook.
Oh my goodness, the hook is huge on the Galaxy Meat, the Ignite coming out, but I don't think it's going to be enough, as maybe 1 or 2 autos more would have found that kill on the Galaxy Meat.
I would have liked to see a flash commit coming in from Epic Fail Guy there, but that's just me. I like to play aggressive. There is being a bit of a gank setup coming in here for the side of DCA. Are they going to fall for it? No, they can smell it in the water. They know something's happening here. Instead, they're going to back off and reset.
Yeah, DCA don't really need to be going for anything quite yet. As Sterling Archer so far ahead, he's got to try and find some way to convert this lead onto especially Galaxy Meep in the bot lane on that super hyper-scaling vein, but maybe also a little bit onto Fugnuggler up here in the top lane, as well as, you know, Xin Zhao, he's going to be really big in this early game. He's going to be a little big in this mid game, and the late game, you're not really relying on him for that damage that you're looking for. As now Fugnuggler, he could be dove up here in this top lane. There is no Rift Herald to be dropped on his tower quite yet, but if they did have the Rift Herald threat, then there could have been much more something to worry about up here in the top lane.
And the big thing that I want to take away from this game compared to the first series, or the first game of the series, is that you're getting a lot more even trades going here for the side of No Fear Wolves, whereas last game, once those first bloods came out, it just felt like every lane started rolling for the side of Death Cards Academy. Oh, that's going to be the Herald picked up.
Oh, that's the Herald stolen away by Death Cards Academy. Sterling Archer so huge on this Xin Zhao. He finds a kill, and he's getting almost another one as well, as Cornstar roams up, but not enough time before the rest of his team has already fallen. One more auto might be able to pick it up, but not quite. Sterling Archer finds himself another double kill and living on 1 HP.
Why does he keep getting away with it, Camcom? He keeps finding these situations where he should die. He should be dead here, but he just barely lives, and that's the power of the Xin Zhao karma, is that just when you think you're about to kill him, he lives, and it's not fair. Now he's been able to go back. He's able to finish his phase. He completes the Iron Spike whip as well. He's going to be so strong, working towards that gore drinker, and once he has that active available, he'll truly be the unkillable standard of Demacia coming in here. But the one shining silver lining here for the side of No Fear Wolves is that they were able to secure that Rift Herald. If they're able to find an opportunity to place down Shelly into one of these lanes, get some gold into the pockets of one of your members, most likely you want to give it to Cornstar. Another great opportunity would be to give it over to Epic Fail Guy and try and get him rolling on this bottom lane Kalista. We haven't seen a whole lot happening down here outside of that one gank, but Kalista does need to try and find an early lead here versus the Vayne. We haven't talked a whole lot about it because we don't see this Vayne popping off really in the late game, but if they're able to make this game 30-40 minutes long with the lead that DCA has, they can continue to use Galaxy Meep as that late game insurance and not have to worry about their performance in the early game.
Yeah, it's funny because the less that happens around the spot side, the better it is for Death Cards Academy, because you pick Kalista Thresh for that super heavy lane dominance. You're going in for as many kills as possible, on one, especially once you hit that level 6 mark for the two of them. And the fact that they're all sitting 0-0-0 and maybe a few assists across the board and one death for Cthulhu is way better for Death Cards Academy. As of course now I say that Cthulhu gonna be hooked, but I think he's almost gonna be able to live that one. It's actually that kill going over to Jushbox, definitely not the person you want the kill on, but if it was gonna go over to anyone, it was gonna go over to the person with Ignite.
Yeah, that's just a very unfortunate situation there for the bottom lane of No Fear Wolves, but even more unfortunate for Galaxy Meepers, 4 members.
He is gonna flash away from that knockup, luckily, so he will get to live, and it is only 1 kill, but that is gonna be so much damage coming out from this tower, and it might even be just the entire tower with 4 members plus Rift Herald being dropped.
Rift Herald is going to be popped here. This could potentially be first brick. I like to see this aggressive play coming in from the bottom side of No Fear Wolves here. Sterling Archer trying to stop this one from going down entirely, so we'll just be 4 platings at the end of the day and an extremely low bottom lane turret here. But we were mentioning that we need to get Epic Fail Guy rolling, and exactly like we say, Skizz shows up on the bottom side of the map, starts more plays here. I don't think he necessarily needed a flash, as that's going to be down for this upcoming dragon that's spawning in 15 seconds here. Infernal Drake is going to be the second dragon of this game here, and you haven't had a chance to reset on the side of No Fear Wolves here. Kalista, Thresh, Diana all sticking around, and that means they're not going to be able to spend the gold that they just acquired from that huge play that they made on the bottom side of the map. They're going to have to give over the second dragon of the game unless they want to try and force a team fight, but they don't have the items they need in order to try and take that win.
Yeah, like you're saying, you can get all that gold from the bot lane, but then if you don't recall it in time before the next objective to spend that gold, then you might as well have just done nothing. So that was the second dragon, pretty easily taken by Death Cards Academy, and now they are sitting 2-0 up on dragons. They are sitting only 1,000 gold ahead in this game, as opposed to I think 3,000 at this point as it was last game, as now they're trying to find a spike on the Thug Knuckler in a 1v3. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to find a kill back for him, as any 1-for-1 here would be so worth it. Just Box also roamed up, lands the hook, lands the flay. He's still living for a very long time though, as unfortunately Patrick Jones not gonna have as big of a shield as you need there, and that shutdown going over to Cornstar is now Epic Fail Guy. He might be paying for his support roaming up top here, as he is CC'd for his entire HP bar. That is the power of Nautilus right there, and yeah, Epic Fail Guy be taken out, no contest.
You can't be up that far in the lane when you know that your support is roaming onto the top side of the map. We keep seeing mistakes like that coming in from the bot laners of both of these teams here, and just like that, Epic Fail Guy goes down. But I like to see them still looking. I like to see the rest of No Fear Wolves still looking for aggressive plays as they find a hook on a Karma.
They find the hook on a Karma, but TP coming down from Thug Knuckler just to save his Karma's life, as now Patrick Jones, he has so much mana with the help of that blue buff of Thug Knuckler. He takes the tornado to the face, but it doesn't even matter as he heals so much with the help of Patrick Jones on the Karma as well. So the HP bar is taken down very low for No Fear Wolves. I'm not sure if they really want to continue staying, as they don't know where the rest of Death Cards Academy are.
God, Core Drinker is just it's just such a powerful item still. I don't like the item personally. I don't think having that much healing available on an item just for free like that should be allowed, but no. I digress. Top side of the map.
Oh my goodness, Sterling, you have no mana. You're trying to 1v1 someone with the blue buff. One more auto. Okay, he lives. He keeps his 400 gold shutdown, but fuck Nuggler. I don't think you want that one there.
Man, these two teams just love to fight. There is no backing down for either one of these teams. No mana, no problem. No health bar, no problem. No cooldowns, no problem. We just keep fighting. That's all these teams have been doing this entire series so far, Camcom. As we have a pause here, finally, a respite from the entirety of this series where both teams are just ruthlessly going at each other's throats.
Oh yeah, this entire series has been so chaotic. We've had 11 games so far in this 14-minute game. Last game we had 15 kills at 15 minutes, so we're definitely looking to almost hit that pace, maybe a little bit slower, but I mean, it doesn't feel any slower, honestly.
It doesn't feel much slower than last game, but when we look at the gold difference, that's where we can really see the big difference from the first game of the series to the second, is that it's only a 1,000 gold lead this time around for Death Cards Academy. Yes, Sterling Archer is still 4-0-1 on the Xin Zhao, but they have not been getting the same amount of leads that they have been getting in other places, such as the farm in the bottom lane, such as CS differentials across the board, really. And a lot of the kills have been answered to some degree, either through kills of their own by No Fear Wolves, or through platings that they're able to pick up on the bottom side of the map that went unanswered by Death Cards Academy, keeping this game a lot closer in terms of just sheer gold difference. And while it's still a breakneck pace for both of these teams, especially DCA constantly looking for plays, it's not going to have the same impact and the same ferocity as the first game.
Yeah, not quite the same ferocity, but there is still that super heavy scaling bot lane member of Galaxy if they do want to continue having these fights in the bot lane, and him currently sitting 1-0-0 is far more ahead than you'd think, especially against a Kalista where she already has her Kraken Slayer at 4 Vayne, and then Kalista not even having a mythic completed despite getting 4 plates shared on that tower shows just how far ahead Galaxy is just based on how much his champion scales. As you can see, the Rift Herald, second Rift Herald is being dropped up there in the top lane, taking away that tower. Not even the first tower taken though, as they were able to take that bot lane beforehand. As Epic Fail Guy, you are very caught out as Galaxy, he is forced to kite away. One more auto will find the Epic Fail Guy, finally finding his first kill of this game is now Cthulhu. No more ADC left to live. You've got Patrick Jones roaming down, but I don't think that's going to be enough as Cthulhu will also be going down to Epic Fail Guys. Patrick Jones now, you're left all alone in the jungle as he was trying to help his support, not really able to do it, but luckily he will get to live underneath his towers.
We're finally starting to see that aggressive play around Epic Fail Guy that No Fear Wolves is so well known for. Kalista finally coming on board here, 2-1-2. That's going to be the Fate's Call used.
Oh, the hook just about goes wide as they do get the flash out from Patrick Jones, but I mean, flash for just one ultimate from Epic Fail Guy, definitely much more worth for No Fear Wolves, as Dragon is spawning in just a few seconds here.
And it's going to be the Ocean Soul for this game, for the second game of the best of 5 series here in semifinals. Dragon will be picked up really quickly here. Team fight surely happened.
Oh, hook lands onto Sterling Archer, immediately followed up by that last breath. Skizz finds the kill on the Galaxy Meep, and Sterling Archer finds himself in a 1v5 shutdown, finally going over to Cornstar.
It's the Wombo combo, baby. It's what we've been talking about. It's what we've been waiting for this whole time, Camcom. It's you get the Yasuo into the backline there, and I like to see not just the combo coming in, but the patience from Cornstar there, because he didn't go immediately off of the death sentence. He waited for the flay, and that allowed him to get onto not just Sterling Archer, but more importantly, Galaxy Meep in the backside of that fight. He extends the CC for both, but locking down the Vayne prevents the opportunity for that final hour combo, for that final hour to come out and kite out all of No Fear Wolves. And now for the first time in this entire series, we have No Fear Wolves with the gold lead from themselves. They're sitting just over 1,000 gold, 1,500 gold up, really. in this game here, and this is where they're going to have a lot of the power for themselves because you have Kalista with a lead. You have this Yasuo starting to come online here, and you have this team fight combo coming into the mid game. This is where the strength of No Fear Wolves is. With Baron coming up in a minute and a half here, they really need to force their advantages, try and balloon this lead as quickly as possible, and look towards picking up the next couple of neutral objectives and just blowing this game out of the water.
Yeah, like you're saying, Icarus, mid-game is exactly where No Fear Wolves comp shines. They're looking for these team fights, especially with the wombo combo of the Yasuo Diana, and a little bit off of Cute Raichu's ultimate as well, but obviously much more of the Yasuo Diana. The late game, you're way looking towards Death Card Academy. You've got the Karma, you've got the Vayne, and you've even got a hook to back it up as well for a little bit of an engage. But, I mean, we're in mid-game right now. No Fear Wolves sitting very comfortably 2,000 gold up on Death Cards Academy. Like you're saying, this is the first time in this series so far that No Fear has even had this lead, so they're sitting very comfortable and they're very mid-game centered comp.
And what it means for No Fear Wolves is that they're going to be able to try and take some team fights on a more even ground with their team fighting composition and compared to last game. If we look at the items really quick, you have everyone completed on their first mythic outside of Uwu for Cthulhu, who has been really the man suffering for all of the kills that No Fear Wolves has been able to pick up, which means that this Nautilus isn't going to provide the same level of tanky frontline when he's looking for engages, as we have a play being made mid.
Oh no, Patrick, you might have walked a little bit too far, Skiz. He's dropping that Moonfall down on the Sterling, who does not take damage from Moonfall right now, as Skiz, he's gonna be hooked up. TP coming in from Cornstar, but it's just too late, as Cthulhu able to pick up Skiz, who went just a little too far underneath that tower.
And really what it was is Sterling Archer being there to respond so quickly, and the teleport coming in for the side of for the side of DC. Actually, No Fear Wolves pulled in the teleport, but they just weren't able to make that happen. Actually, it was Uwu for Cthulhu that showed up. That's correct. The Nautilus on the side that was there, the outman his opponent there. Cute Raichu trying to live with his life here.
Yeah, he's trying to live. That tower is also trying to live. As Fognuggler, he flashes in. One more auto would find it, but he's not able to do it. As Call of the Forge God is gonna find the knockup, and Cute Raichu picks up his solo kill of this game, but is not allowed to live for much longer than a second. Of Sterling Archers, of course, there to pick up the final kill.
I loved what Cute Raichu tried to do at the very end there, by the way. He was expecting Sterling Archer to dash on top of him, so he just hit the closest wall possible so that he can get a knockup onto Sterling Archer if he goes for that aggressive play underneath turret, and almost is able to pick up a double kill for himself. Great play coming in from Cute Raichu. What it does mean is that he buys time on the top side of the map for Cornstar to pick up that solo turret for himself, and he was able to stall out with that bot lane turret going down. Instead, it's going over to the hands of Sterling Archer, who is 5-1-2 on the Xin Zhao and is doing a great job of finding himself early kills and early leads, but he's not getting any gold into any of the mid to late game carries for the side of DCA here. You know, Galaxy still struggling to find any meaningful impact in this game, and Fognuggler has been answered quite handily by Cute Raichu's Ord so far in the series.
Yeah, you can see this ADC gold diff happening right here, as Epic Fail Guy already has his Runons completed, whereas Galaxy, excuse me, he's just sitting on his Zeal, which is nowhere near the same level as having that Runons completed, giving another mythic bonus to himself. So having this Ocean Dragon spawning in just 10 seconds here, with that being that third soul point for death cards, having your ADC behind, which is kind of the member you're mostly playing around at this point in the game, is gonna be pretty rough for death cards if they aren't able to find a super good engage. As of course, you've still got that wombo combo available from No Fear Wolves if they are able to find the engage and pull the trigger on the Moonfall on that last breath from both of the mid and the jungle. But this dragon is being bursted down by death cards very quickly, as Sterling able to cancel the ult, but the 3-man last breath into Moonfall. The entire backline from death cards is just immediately demolished, as Fognuggler trying to be that tank that they didn't even have, as the dragon is going to go down to No Fear, but doesn't even matter. Hook will land onto Galaxy, immediately being taken down, as you could just see Fognuggler not taking up all 5 members for all fall from death cards. No Fear losing absolutely no one.
It's too easy, Cam. Come. If it's not the Oran Horn that is able to make the knockups happen there, Skiz flashes forward with the Moonfall. You have the Flay to follow up. The Fates call. Everything got pulled in order to make that team fight happen. Not only is the Dragon going to be picked up here from No Fear Wolves off the back of that ace, but it's going to be the Baron as well. And this is exactly what we needed to see coming in from No Fear Wolves in this second game of the series, is that they find these mid-game team fights, they find these mid-game leads for themselves, and they blow this game out of the water. 6,000 golden lead, 5,500 golden lead here for No Fear Wolves. They have quickly turned this one around in comparison to last game. They're looking to match the same tempo a little bit later in the series, but they have the same possibilities, the same opportunities to create such a massive gold lead when we look across the map. Mid lane, outer turret, freestanding gold. All the inner turrets, freestanding gold with this Baron power play. And I want to see No Fear Wolves continue to push their advantages here and continue to look for aggressive plays.
Yeah, and aggressive plays is just the name of the game at this point, especially for No Fear Wolves. This cute Raichu, he's going in for a dive on the Galaki, but he is kind of going in completely alone as Skids in the backline, followed up immediately by another amazing last breath from Cornstar, as everyone is just trying to find kills underneath this tower before it's even taken, and that might just be an issue as Death Cards finally finding an in back into this game. Sterling Archer finding himself a double kill, and he's still alive, trying to find something on the Epic Fail Guy. There is no more shield but left as his shutdown going down to Epic Fail Guy, as now cute Raichu hooked up. No more hook left for him as shutdown once again. Extended triple kill going over to Sterling Archer.
I know I said that I wanted them to make an aggressive play, but that might not be it, Chief.
Oh my gosh.
That was not the one. You don't dive 5-on-5 underneath the turret, no matter how far ahead you are, because that's how these turnaround plays happen here. They lose all of their Barons, which is super tragic, and on top of that, they lose 2 turrets for the one that they were able to pick up, swinging this gold lead back to just 1,000 gold in favor of No Fear Wolves. So what should have been an opportunity for them to blow this game open, they kind of squandered trying to overforce a fight, and instead of playing for side lanes using the strength of Cornstar, they just threw themselves in a full 5-on-5 situation, in a disadvantaged situation. Whereas before, they've been able to get these full 5-on-5s in the river or around the dragon towards just neutral points of the map. This time around, going underneath turret, when you have the sustainability that DCA has, wasn't the angle I was hoping for.
Yeah, if you were watching the series last week, No Fear Wolves against Degenerates Reformed, Game 2, that is exactly how No Fear Wolves threw the game, and I actually wrote it into my rap. I said, try not to dive under tier 2 tower. All you're gonna do is give Patrick more power, and maybe they didn't give Patrick power, but Sterling absolutely got huge off of that fight, and it's the same exact throw that we've seen from No Fear Wolves, is you're going under the tier 2 tower when you haven't even taken tier 1 quite yet. So, a little bit of a misplay coming out from No Fear Wolves, as apparently my rap is just predicting this series, as I also said Sterling Archer gets first blood, and he's gotten first blood both games so far.
Yeah, and I want to take a step back and look at the atomization this game, because a huge reason that turret dive went so poorly for the side of No Fear Wolves is the amount of sustainability that is available for DCA here, as we have a play on the top side.
Oh no, you are not allowed to walk up this far, my friend.
He's winning, though.
Double last breath is gonna come out though, and you thought Death Cards was gonna win that, but not until you see Skiz show up in Cornstar. Again, they've got the super easy wombo combo to it, and Fog Nuggler heals so much, but Epic Fail Guy is just gonna rend him out of his life there once again. The wombo combo is doing so much work in this mid game for No Fear.
I can't stand this game, Camcom. There's too much healing. Look at the items. Look at the dragons. Look at everything that's going on here. You got double gore drinkers on the side of DCA. You got double immortal shield bows on the side of NFW. Everyone across the map here, like everybody, has potential to live in situations where they have absolutely no right to stay alive here. And that's just kind of going to be the name of this series. So looking at the itemization, I need everybody in this game to some degree or another to pick up a form of Grievous Wounds. Dragon is spawning onto the map here. This one should be picked up by No Fear Wolves due to them winning that last fight, which is going to put them on soul point for this Ocean Drake. Another source of healing for the members of No Fear Wolves as we're looking in the next 5 minutes for that soul to be picked up, which means you need to be picking up Grievous Wounds on members of Death Cards Academy. I don't care if you have a Hextech Purifier on your Karma. That's only for 5-on-5 situations, and we've seen that they do not win 5v5 situations for Death Cards unless they're underneath their turret. In full-on even 5v5s, everyone needs to have some sort of anti-heal available for themselves in order to just prevent the obnoxious amount of healing that's happening in this game.
Yeah, obnoxious healing is going to get even worse, as like you're saying, 4 Ocean Dragons for an Ocean Soul, if No Fear able to pick up the next dragon, is just going to be ridiculous healing at that point. I think it's 2.5% missing HP every 5 seconds per dragon, so I'm not quite sure what that adds up to, but I just know, like you're saying, that is obnoxious healing for the side of No Fear.
It's painful is what it is, and we've seen how many times health bars this game have ping-ponged from nearly dead to full health, and that's just kind of the magic of what Ocean Soul, Immortal Shield Bow, Gore Drinker, all these Karma with the Moonstone and Ardent Censor. That's what all these champions are for. It's what it's all about. But it's not going to be, it's going to really determine what's going to be happening in these mid to late game team fights. And I think what's been favoring No Fear Wolves so far up until this point is that they have the burst potential. They have the Yasuo, they have the Kalista, that when they hit a certain threshold, you can use that Ren in order to just execute somebody, make sure that they're not able to heal back up. And yes, there's potential to mess that up, but it's a lot easier to burst somebody down to low like that and then kill them before they have the opportunity to get the Gore Drinker off, before they can get a shield off once that burst damage comes in. And it's been favoring the side of No Fear Wolves alongside just the amount of CC and Wombo come that they have in these full 5-on-5 fights. As Baron spawns onto the map here already, NFW is looking to get set up around this top side objective.
Yeah, No Fear Wolves has complete control over this top river right now. You can see how many wards they have in Death Cards Academy. They've got no wards. They have 1 ward in the back of the pit, and it can't even see anything thanks to the control ward in the pit from No Fear Wolves. So if Death Cards wants to face check this Baron, they're gonna have to do it completely blind. So as of right now, they don't even know if the members of No Fear Wolves are on the Baron, as every time they are showing on these wards, they show that they're not on the Baron, but now they're starting it, and if Death Cards Academy don't answer, then there's gonna be a big problem in their base later on.
Here's the issue, Camcom. They know it's happening. They have a feeling, and they're going to be able to answer. They're trying to come in here. They have to back away.
Oh, no. Galaxy, he's caught up by the Moonfall, but it's only onto one person as Sterling Archer trying to find the backline as Cornstar immediately takes down Patrick Jones and Cthulhu. Not able to do anything whatsoever. Double kill for Cornstar coming out. He's looking for the pentakill of Sterling Archer. He goes into GA for just a little longer. Is he going to be able to pick up the pentakill as Cute Raichu says, no penta for you, steals away that kill as now Fugnuggler trying to sneakily take away the blue buff. He knows he's about to die. It's just a matter of time. Who's it going to go down to? It looks like the Ren damage from Epic Fail Guy finds the final clean ace for No Fear Wolves.
And that was such a great start to the fight by Skiz there. An even better middle of the fight by Cornstar, holding on to that last breath, as I mentioned before. The patience of this Yasuo player to wait for the opportunity to get onto backline members with the knockups and not just going on the first person who's in the air has shown his prowess on this champion, has been doing them favors time and time again here. Another Baron being picked up by the side of No Fear Wolves. They're going to look to try and extend this 8,000 gold lead that they finally have their hands on, the most dominating they've been so far this game. And when you're looking at another dragon spawning in just a minute here, that Baron buff should be available. They just have to shove out their waves, go back to this dragon, pick up their Ocean Soul, and then continue to siege this game out until victory, because that is going to be too much healing, too much damage available for the side of No Fear Wolves.
Yeah, we've got 40 seconds left on this Ocean Dragon. If it does go over to No Fear Wolves, that is a 4-stacked Ocean Soul on them if they do manage to pick it up. But then Death Cards, if they are going to be the ones picking it, then that is going to be an even more delayed soul point for either team, depending on who's going to be taking that last Dragon of the game. But as of right now, with this Baron buff on No Fear Wolves, it does not look like Death Cards even want to contest this Ocean Dragon for them. As you know, if you lose this team fight with Baron with Ocean Soul, you're most likely going to be losing your Nexus, and it might not be worth it if they do lose this fight, but they are trying to position. They don't have any vision in the river quite yet, though, as Fugnuggler is the only member of Death Cards currently even allowed to walk down into the river, as it is very split from Death Cards. As you can see, 3 members coming in from the bot side, as meanwhile, Fugnuggler trying to find this engage through the back as Uwukafu Cthulhu finds the hook, but his ADC is already gone. Once again, Moonfall into Last Breath in the bot lane. Triple kill this time for Skiz, as now Fugnuggler left all alone, not able to do anything whatsoever. That looks like it's going to be the end of game 2 for No Fear Wolves.
It just feels like there wasn't ever an opportunity for DCA to start fights off on their terms. The only real player that has an opportunity for full-on engages is either Sterling Archer or Uwu for Cthulhu. And when you have your main source of damage coming out from Sterling Archer, your fed player who has to also engage, it's so difficult to go up against this heavy CC, heavy wombo combo style composition that No Fear Wolves drafted for themselves. They're looking to tie up this series 1-on-1 in our semifinals here for Excellency Mid-League in a commanding fashion here, and a lot of it just coming down to some beautifully executed team fights.
Yes, this is the close series that we were hoping for. Death Cards Academy got to take game 1 so strongly. Now game 2, almost the opposite happening to them. Death Cards did put up a little bit more of a fight than No Fear did in game 1, but No Fear so strong, so convincing in this game 2. We're definitely going to have a very exciting series on our hands tonight.
It was another 33-minute game, 29 kills for the side of No Fear Wolves, so you got a 1-up for DCA off of that first game of the series. But in order to help us break down that game a little bit more, we are going to throw it back over to the analyst desk with myself and Metapods. Metapods, coming in after listening to that series, watching it all happen, how are you feeling?
That was a roller coaster of a game. That was a roller coaster of a game, because watching that, you had DCA again taking away the beginning of the game, and I'm just amazed to give him this Xin Zhao pick again, because the Xin Zhao, I didn't watch his full clear, but I saw him go from red to Krug like he was about to full clear. Diana was a whole camp ahead of him already, and they were still making things happen even with the slower farming of the Xin Zhao. But then you get to the point where they have their level 6s, they start fighting these objectives, and while I was watching it, I kept going back and looking. Cornstar wasn't ulting out the Diana Moonfall. He kept ulting off of the Ornn knockups or the Thresh knockups. There were 2 times when they... First with the Dragon, where the fight that almost turns the game for them, he doesn't get the Vayne in it. The Vayne gets out and is almost able to turn the fight, but they're able to bring it back because they have so much wombo at that point. And it happens again when they dive that tier 2 tower, as No Fear seems to love doing in throwing games. Again, he doesn't ult off the Moonfall on the Vayne, and the Vayne gets away, and they lose because of it. And I started getting worried. It's like, it's not the easiest thing to catch, because there's Randall play Bird Diff bot lane with sometimes. Quinn ADC, Swain bot lane. It's not great, but Quinn can vault and Swain can pull off it. You have to be extremely fast. And if you don't practice things like this, you're not going to get it. That's why I was getting so mad watching him. The Diana goes in, blows his flash, blows his ult to get this Vayne to get a pick at the Baron. He doesn't ult off it. Luckily, his Ornn follows up with a better ult and gets the massive 8 kills in Zhao, and it's probably better not to get the Vayne at that point. But I'd really like to see them if they're going to draft this Xin Zhao Diana again. Press your R button when Diana ults, please.
You heard it here first. Metapod says press R when there's knockups available for you. Next on the headlines, we have DCA drafting Xin Zhao for the 3rd game in a row. We'll see you soon. No, I'm just kidding. But really, that is kind of the beauty of the No Fear Wolves composition, is that if you mess up that Diana Moonfall, because it is a very short knockup time, same with the pull, same with the flay, you have the Ornn. At the end of the day, the bread and butter of knockups, outside of, I guess, Unstoppable Force from Malphite, which is the classic combo that everybody knows and loves, that having the Forge of the Ornn God really does make it super easy for Cornstar to get into the back line. And I think that having so many forms of engage for No Fear Wolves, you baby proof your composition, and sometimes that's just what you need when you have DCA that's drafting, you know, Jin Zhao, Vayne, Aatrox, all with very complicated win conditions. Jin Zhao has to get ahead early. Aatrox has to play around his 3Q combo. Vayne needs to scale and use that tumble and positioning to expertise with the short range that she has. Why bother with all that complication when you can just have the press R combination of the No Fear Wolves composition?
It definitely made it a lot easier for them. There were a couple of things in the lane coming in where Raichu was playing, not Raichu, who's playing the Karma that game?
Patrick Jones.
Patrick Jones took Grasp on Karma, and I really like this adaptation. There's a Korean challenger, Annie One Trick, named Cute Mao, who used to take Grasp into a lot of the melee matchups because Annie has absurd auto range. And you notice the Karma, she was just farming, just picking boogers out of Orange's nose, all those green Grassy and Dying stacks, the whole lane. And they tried to go on her in mid lane one time, and just walks out of it scot-free because she has like 200 extra health. You can't touch this Karma. And then in the bot lane again, coming out of with the Vayne pick, this Vayne was walking all over them in this lane. I don't know if Epic Fail Guy meant to not bind his spear. I've seen a solo queue. He smurfs on that pick, so I'm just going to believe him that it was the right decision not to bind it. But I would like to see more pressure from the Thresh and the Kalista together, just autoing this Vayne whenever she's walking for a creep. They have the double range bonus in their lane, so they shouldn't be losing control of this lane. It seemed really weird their lane as Vayne just walk all over them.
It definitely felt a little weird when we noticed that Black Spear wasn't used early on. And it did feel kind of weird that, you know, it took so long for Kalista to find those leads versus Galaxy. Epic Fail Guy not getting any kind of solo kills, having to wait till Diana and Yasuo make their way down there in order to make anything really happen. But once they did, they were able to find an early game lead. Looking towards game 3, though, for DCA, I like the Jin Zhao pick. It's been working for them, but I don't know if giving yourself all 80 threats like they did in this game, not allowing Patrick Jones to play for lane, to allow Patrick Jones to play these very aggressive picks like the Silas we saw in game 1 that he was just running all over Cute Raichu with. I want to see them go back a little bit more towards their comfort picks in terms of very aggressive laners, allowing them to pick up these aggressive mages in the mid lane to provide one, more source of AP, and two, something that Patrick Jones can carry on once again.
Yeah, it would give them a lot more option in their fights as well, especially if Nofi wants to go back towards these baby-proof wombo comps, because DCA is able to win these early games, but then when these wombos come in, they're not always hitting their full team, not executed perfectly, but there's not enough threats that it matters. The Vayne's always chunked out in the beginning, and sure, there's a Karma just looking at you, throwing a Mantra Q, maybe Mantra shielding her team. She's not going to make the difference when your main carry's already chunked out. Like you're saying, it gives them a lot more options to play around these wombos when they can't get every single carry in the wombo.
I think it also just helps that with the DCA style play, we've seen Sterling Archer, he's had the same game plan both games in a row, and it's worked out fairly well. Gank mid, go mid, kill the mid laner, whoever that may be. This time around, you know, it was Cornstar who was playing that Yasuo, but in game 1 it was Cute Raichu. If you're going to be playing around the Jin Zhao, get somebody else who can also roll ahead. And I'm not saying that the Karma is necessarily a bad pick in general, it's just you need to have some other form of hard carry that can really bring it in for the side of DCA, and something preferably with some magic damage to back it up. But ladies and gentlemen, as we're getting ready to set up for this third game, we're going to go ahead and throw it over to a quick spectator. We're going to go ahead and throw it over to a quick regular delay, not spectator delay this time around. Shout outs one more time to AM Grind, who's been sponsoring Excellency this entire season. Thank you so much for making our amateur dreams come true. If you guys need coffee, we'll spam the link in chat because apparently the normal code doesn't work, but we got you guys. So don't worry, we'll be back in a couple of minutes with draft, and we'll see you guys soon.